Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of The Comic Call. I'm your co-host, not co-host, I'm your host, Dylan Lang. And welcome to, I guess you could say, my new, semi-new setup here down in the basement of my house in the illustrious Reisterstown area in Maryland. As you can see, it looks quite a bit different than it did last time, mainly due to the fact that this weekend was my son's first communion, and we had to start cleaning the basement out. So we got rid of a bunch of junk, and I moved the desk forward for the show so you get a deeper impact. And we got rid of the couch on this side and all kinds of stuff. And then before you know it, we're going to keep making changes. This stuff over here is probably going to be gone soon, hopefully. And stuff behind us you'll see is probably going to be moved around also. So it's going to be nice and neat. I'm going to try a few different things maybe next time I do the show. I got like a little table thing I can put over here, put some Funko Pops or something up here, maybe some stuff over on this side. We'll see. But regardless, this is the new setup for not only the Comic Call, but also for Dylan Knows, my other show I do on Sundays, usually. Like tomorrow, 12:30 p.m., me and my co-host Jerry Fletcher are going to be talking the top 20 songs of the 80s. Not necessarily the best ones of all time, but our favorites, personal favorites for now. So should be a lot of fun to get a little retro here. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about comics. This is this week's The Comic Call. It is also the last week. Well, next week is technically the last. I don't know when I'm going to do this show. Hopefully I'll do it sometime before Free Comic Day. But Free Comic Day is next Saturday, 1 week from today, 7 days from now. So I'm going to keep harping on it. Free Comic Book Day. Everything you know is in the title. Free Comic Book Day. Go to your search engine, type in Free Comic Book Day. It'll take you to the FBCD website. Type in your zip code. You'll find which stores are participating in your area. And you go and you get free comics. You see that all ages stuff. So should be great stuff. So that's next week. I'll probably push it again next week, so I hopefully will do the show before Free Comic Book Day next week, the Comic Call, because I will be buying my stuff probably on Wednesday as usual. So we shall see. But for now, this is this week's The Comic Call. A little late, as I said, my son's first communion, so we've been kind of extraordinarily busy. So, but here we go. As always, we start with DC. This is the Flash number 21. Best view right here. Flash number 21. Still a little too shiny on this side. I got to work on the lighting on it. This is the second part of the crossover with Batman called The Button, where we're going to investigate more about the Button from Watchmen and how that pertains to what's going on in the DC universe right now for Rebirth. It's written by Joshua Williamson with art by Howard Porter. So, pretty good story. And a lot of really cool, interesting stuff happening. Just keeping it up, keeping it real. So very good. Pulls up the cosmic treadmill. So I'm gonna do some time traveling. So Flash number 21 starts today. Work on that too. I probably find a different table. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 955, continuing the League of Assassins storyline. This one's written by James Tynion IV, with this time the artwork is by, it's in the back, the art is by Marcio Takara. So, continuing the League of Assassins story. So, Batman keeps working with his team and all kinds of cool stuff. So, there's a big full page spread. Batman versus Ninjas. Can't beat that. That might be a good area to put them. Let's see, where should I put them? Should I put them right back here? Yeah, this here, and make it a little easier. Next up, we have Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. Continuing the Prism of Time storyline, number 19. It's written by Robert Venditti, with art by V. Ken Marion and inks by Dexter Vines. So, all kinds of swashbuckling fun stuff going on. There's some yellow lanterns. We got the new guy here. Don't know who that is. Got the Green Lantern Corps all together. Kyle Mackin. So, I'll join the Green Lantern Corps number 19. Next up, we have Wonder Woman number 21, written by Greg Rucka. This time, the art is by Liam Sharp, which means it's more recent or current time Wonder Woman storyline. Wonder Woman's movie is coming up in about a month, almost a month. It's April 29th. It comes out June 2nd, so about a month and a few days it comes out. So get excited for that. Greg Rucka is doing a really good job, as always, writing Wonder Woman, and particularly made Cheetah a very interesting character in his story this time. He's also leaving on issue 25, so better catch it while you still can. Next up, we have Teen Titans, number 7, continuing the Rise of Aqualad storyline. This one's written by Ben Piercy. Where is the rest of the creative team here? Why do they do this to me? Not here where it should be. Let's just show you something. I'll get the creative team once we get to the end of it. But it's the Teen Titans. Teen Titans just announced they're going to have their own TV show. It's going to be DC streaming. It's going to be like a Netflix type of thing, but it's going to be just Warner Brothers and DC stuff. And one of them is Teen Titans, or rather the Titans. There it is. Benjamin Percy, story and words. Coy Pham, pencils. Phil Hester, breakdowns. Wade Van Grawbadger, inks. So. Exactly. So the new Teen Titans, or rather, I think it's just Titans TV show coming soon. I love this cover, so I bought it. Even though I keep saying I'm probably gonna drop it. This is Batgirl, number 10. You know, Babs and her dad working together. Written by Hope Larson with art by Chris Wildgoose and John Lamb inks. Batgirl's taking on the Penguin. And I totally think that Commissioner Gordon knows that his daughter is Batgirl. I don't think he's that stupid, but he doesn't say anything. So, but it's an interesting take on Batgirl. So I'm gonna keep reading it. It's pretty good, especially with the art and the story continuing as it is. As I said, this is one I dropped and I came back to because of the new Superman stuff. I'll probably drop it later on. Superman Reborn Aftermath. This is Action Comics number 978. Continues the recreation of Superman's storyline. Dan Jurgens, writer. Carlo Barberi, pencils. Matt Santorelli, inks. Starts with Lois Lane falling from the top of Daily Planet. I don't know what's going on here. But just I'm getting this just because continuing the discussion on Superman's origin and how everything fits together and works out. Oh, ooh, showing the Breath of John. Cool. Showing a lot of cool stuff. So very good. Next up, we have Justice League America number 5, written by Steve Orlando. Art especially by Ivan Reyes, but he is not doing the artwork for this. Instead, it is Andy McDonald. This just looks kind of goofy, to be honest. No offense, Andy. I mean, I know you're a comic book writer and all artist and all that, but I just don't know. The art looks a little goofy to me. Pretty good shot at the ray, though. So I don't know. Maybe sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't, depending. So these guys ups and downs a little bit. So we'll see. But hopefully Ivan Reyes will continue to be more of a presence. Nothing against these other guys, but I kind of want to see some Ivan Reyes artwork because I like his stuff. So there's that. Commandy Challenge Part 4, or number 4. This is a 12-issue series celebrating Jack Kirby's 100th birthday. If he would have lived, it would have been his 100th birthday this year. Basically, they're doing a different creative team for all 12 issues, and they have the first team that does it has to solve the cliffhanger that the previous team did, and then set up a secondary one, and then the next team will have to fix this one. This one is written by James Tynion IV with art by Carlos Donda. So Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti ended with this giant cat creature doing stuff. So now he had to figure out a way to get out of this, to move on to the story he wants to tell. And we'll move on to that. And then he sets up his own cliffhanger, and the next creative team will come in and they will try to solve it. I don't know who the next creative team is on this yet. It's Bill Willingham and Ivan Reyes. So maybe that's why Ivan Reyes hasn't really been doing anything, because he's going to be solving the issue 5 Commandy Challenge. All right. This one's an interesting, and this is one of those comics that you're sort of like, why did it take so long for these two to team up? Personally, I think it would have been better if Matt Wagner would have been the artist writer on it, but when you get Scott Snyder and Steve Orlando writing it together, you get Batman versus Shadow, or Batman and the Shadow. Not a particularly big fan of the artwork, but I said it might have been better for a Matt Wagner type thing. But it's Scott Snyder and Steve Orlando writers, and Riley Rossmo is the artist. Just this is the starting page, and there's just something about it I'm just not a big fan. But then you get Batman and the Shadow together is just like one of those, why haven't we done this before? And I guess it means they're going to be introducing a present-day Shadow, which is why he's in here now. Again, I wish Matt Wagner would have been the writer-artist for it, but nothing we can do about that. So it's a mini-series, 6 issues, so I'll keep buying it because it's a really good idea to have them team up. That's it for the regular DC stuff. Young Animal, this is Doom Patrol number 6. This is the final issue of Doom Patrol for now, I think. We'll see what happens. Gerard Way, writer, Nick Darrington, Tom Fowler doing the art chores. It just, for whatever reason, it had problems meeting its deadlines, and maybe it hasn't been selling as well as they thought. So after 6 issues, they are pulling the plug on it. It's a possibility that they might do more in the future, but as of now, this is the last issue of Doom Patrol. So it's only 6 issues you might be able to find. If you like the Doom Patrol, you might want to pick it up. Sorry, that's just nasty. I don't think this one's in any danger of, because I haven't heard of it being the final issue, but this is Mother Panic number 6. They finally got themselves caught up. They were having a little issue being behind, but now they're caught up. Jody Hauser, writer. Sean Crystal is the artist. Mother Panic is a really fascinating series. It's set in the Young Animal world, but also as part of Gotham City and the Batman mythos as well. So very interesting, and it's a very interesting character design. It's a female lead, so I'd like to see. Don't get me wrong, I like what Jody Hauser is doing because I like Jody Hauser, but it'd be interesting to see what Greg Rucka might be doing this. And then there's also a backup, Gotham Radio, Jim Kruger writer, pencils by Phil Hester, inks by Andy Parks. Phil Hester always does interesting stuff. So, and here's the next really good Young Animal book. I can't wait to get Bug. The Alreds are coming up with that, so that'd be good. But for now, we still have Mother Panic, number 6. So. And finally, we have Supergirl being super. Mariko Tamaki and Joelle Jones doing like a definitive Supergirl origin. Particularly, you see it's a big one when they have a prestige format. So it's always, it's one of these things that is probably going to be one of those classic stories down the line. Nice artwork, and Supergirl being hugely popular with her TV show right now. this is the perfect opportunity to come in and pick up some. These prestige format books are always interesting. So check that out. That's it for DC. I have my Marvel set up in a fun, interesting way. Let's see if you can figure out the pattern. First up, two of my favorite comic creators, Peter David and Mark Bagley, have teamed up together to do Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider #1, spinning out of the Spider-Man Spider-Clone storyline, Clone Conspiracy storyline. Always loved Mark Bagley, and you add Peter David to the writer, and you get a wowza book. Hopefully, it can continue doing this stuff, and I can't wait to read this, see how good it actually is. But you can't beat Peter David and Mark Bagley together. It's a match made in heaven. Hopefully they stick around for a while. If this book doesn't stick around, at least get the two of them on a book that actually might be good. Next up, we have Weapon X #2. I forget who the writer is. Greg Pak, Greg Land, Jay Leaston. Basically, it's a Black Ops team for the mutants. I like that. It's Old Man Logan, Thunderbird, who I've always liked as well. Old Man Logan, Thunderbird, Sabretooth, Domino, I think, is in this one as well. You get to see Old Man Logan and Sabretooth together taking on robots, which is kind of cool. So next up, we have Man-Thing #3, written by R.L. Stine, horror writer extraordinaire for kids, and art by that's everybody else, but where's the creative team? Oh, German Peralta and Rachel Rosenberg. So what's really good is R.L. Stine doing a horror comic type of thing, and he also does a backup horror story that is basically Goosebumps stories drawn for comics. So this could very well be a very interesting run on a comic. It's only a mini-series, but to get R.L. Stine to write it, and then you get this almost this Goosebumps backup page story going on there. I think that's written by R.L. Let's see who did the artwork for that one. R.L. Stine and art by Kate Nomisky. I think she did the Mockingbird series. So, #3. Darth Maul #3 from Star Wars. Darth Maul was one of those characters that you love, made a very slight appearance in the original movie series, gets killed in the only movie he's in, or so we think. Then we discover in the Clone Wars cartoon that he's actually still alive. And there's another Clone Wars Cad Bane character, and she's from the movies briefly, but she's more of the storyline. So you got all these different disparate characters. So he comes back, and then he's in Rebels, my shirt. And now this is sort of like a prequel to the Phantom Menace stuff. Cullen Bunn writer, Luke Ross art. So it's Darth Maul. It's a mini-series. It's got bad guys in it. Also missing is Boba Fett. In this case, probably Jango Fett. But, in the end, you still got a good Star Wars story, particularly with Darth Maul. You can learn a little bit more about him. So, next up, we have Captain Marvel #4. Got mostly from my wife because she loves the series. It's written by Margaret Stoll with art by Brent Schoonover, Rose Stein, and Ted Brandt. So hopefully, Captain Marvel will start building up again and being awesome, because her movie's coming out in a couple of years. They're going to start filming it really soon. They got the directors, they have their star, they have screenplay apparently. So hopefully we'll continue with that. So Captain Marvel #4. Hulk #5, continuing the She-Hulk storyline, sort of as my co-host MJ Khan called it, a post-traumatic stress disorder take on the Hulk, written by Mariko Tamaki from Supergirl Reborn type of story, and Nico Leon is doing the artwork. You can get an appearance by Captain Marvel in this one, and it's like a PTSD sort of storyline. with the Hulk not really showing up in it. So it's a slow burn series, but that's what they're doing. So good on them. That's it for Marvel. So just get the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The funny thing is, we jumped to Independence, and we have the Comic Book History of Comic Books number 6. So continuing the trend. Again, this is a great series. I thought this was the last issue, but they're only in 1974, so they're probably going to be building up a little more. It's such a great premise. It's a real comic book history of comic books. So it's a history about comics, how comic books became popular and different aspects of it in comic book formats, written by Fred Van Lent with art by Ryan Dunleavy. So you get different stories which detail how comics came to be, how they became popular, different aspects of it, and you have it done in comic book format. So very interesting. It looks like we're going to be doing some of the underground comic stuff now too, so it's good. Speaking of Greg Rucka from a while back, he and Leandro Fernandez are doing Old Guard number 3. This is their creator-owned army type of story. It's Greg Rucka. It's a female lead. It's Leandro Fernandez. Can't go wrong with that. Good stuff. So, and finally, the last comic book I have for the comic call again is for my wife. I like Doctor Who, the Ninth Doctor. This is issue 12, but I haven't read any of them. But my wife has read all of them, so the newest issue is number 12. I think this is the last issue for year 1, and then they're probably going to do a year 2. I think that's what they've done with the other ones. No, it might not be. It's written by Caitlin Scott with art by Adriana Mello. So, I mean, if you like your Doctor Who, especially if you like the Ninth Doctor, you get more adventures of the Ninth Doctor that we didn't get to see in the TV series, since he was only the Doctor for 1 series. That is the comic call for this week. Next week is Free Comic Book Day week. It's also the beginning of the week, so we'll be getting a bunch of probably another Batman, some more Superman. I'm just trying to think of all the bi-weekly ones. I don't know. They'll probably get some new number 1s. This is the first week of May. You probably get some new number 1s. I really honestly don't know what's coming out next week yet because I didn't check. I'll look on Monday to see what's coming up on the Dime website. But the most important thing is Saturday, 1 week from today, is Free Comic Book Day. Go support Free Comic Book Day. Go to your local comic book store. Get your free comics. And you don't have to. But I would recommend while you're there, maybe buy something, because even though the comic book store is giving away the comics for free and it's good advertising and getting people to their store, they still have to pay for the free comic books out of their own budget. So if you want to, I mean, as I said, you don't have to, but you know, if you feel like you want to do something like that and help them out a little bit, go ahead and buy something. A lot of stores will probably be having special sales. My store's having 50% off of basically everything, so half off of everything. So you can get 2 trades for the price of 1, back issues at half price, toys at half price. You get 2 Funko Pops. I could go in there and get 2 Funko Pops for the price of 1. I could go in and get T-shirts for half off, glasses, mugs, gaming equipment, sports stuff, trade paperbacks, whatever, comic books, whatever they have, I can get them at half price. I usually don't buy anything on Free Comic Book Day because I spend all my money during the week, and they know it, so they're okay with that. You spend your money there during the week, you probably don't need to buy anything. But at the same time, your stores may have creators in-house. We have 3 or 4 at our store up here. Todd DeZago is one. Steve Conley is another one. I forget who. We have a couple other ones up there. But they'll be there to sign their stuff, do drawings for you. You can talk to them, get pictures taken with them, whatever. And who knows what else is going on. We've had cosplayers there before. We've had radio stations there doing live feeds from there, food, games, prizes, all kinds of fun stuff. So go see what, go check out the show, Free Comic Book Day website. Type in Free Comic Book Day, type in your zip code, and see what free comic book stores are in your area. that are participating in Free Comic Book Day. On that note, I am going to say goodbye because this has been a long week. I'm exhausted, and I get myself prepped for tomorrow's episode of Dylan Knows at 12:30, talking 80s music with my co-host Jerry Fletcher. So good night, everyone. Have a nice rest of April. April ends tomorrow. May will be starting on Monday, and it's Free Comic Book Day week, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is in movie theaters. I'll be seeing it on Friday, and my review of that will be on next week's show, Dylan Knows, with MJ Khan, where we'll be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, Volume 2, as it should be. So until then, read comics, buy comics, frequent your comic store. Free Comic Day's coming up. Spread the word. I'll probably start spreading the word every day on Twitter and Facebook. That get everybody prepped for it. 7 days from now.